Kody just filed a countersuit against Christine. A lawyer was retained, legal documents were filed with the court, and he has some requests for Christine. What could those be? Let's learn more about the lawsuit, discuss some Utah child custody law, and also get a ballpark estimate of the back child support amount Kody may owe to Christine. We need to go over it all. This is going to be an informative show. Let's dive deep. Are you guys ready? Let's go.
Such a teenage drama.
This was not the way it was supposed to go.
He's not talking to me about it, so I think I'm gonna have to lawyer up.
Blame yourself if I don't rule you, okay?
Welcome to IQ Live, a place where we are obsessed with pop culture and reality TV. There are a slew of topics I cover on my channel, so definitely check them out. But for now, it's Sister Wife season. We have a lot to discuss, a lot to challenge, and a lot to analyze, and we're going to do it all together. We're reading your comments, we're taking your calls, discussing this as a group. So are you guys ready? Let's get into it. Hello guys, good morning. Good morning, it is good to see everybody. Today we are discussing Kody countersuing Christine. We should have predicted that this was going to happen, right? We should have predicted that this was going to happen in the state of Utah. Kody hired a lawyer. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about possible back child support amounts that he might have to pay. We're going to explain the lawsuit a little bit. There's not a lot of information on it, so we're going to go over every detail that we can to get as clear of a picture as we can about what's going on, because the information is limited, okay? So, by the way, yes, phone lines are open. It's going to be coming back up. You'll see it in chat in a little bit. But for now, let's just go into this, okay? So, Kody filed a countersuit against Christine. And here's the thing. Before we get into the lawsuit, well, basically the counter lawsuit, we have to get into the refresher on the original lawsuit that was filed by Christine. Okay. That happened on September 16th. Christine filed a petition for declaration of paternity, child custody, parent time, and support. And she was seeking child support from Kody and custody of Truly. And in that time, Kody took his purple McMansion off the market, and he has now filed his own countersuit. That is what we learned yesterday, but it actually didn't happen yesterday. It happened about almost 2 weeks ago. So let me tell you why I think this is interesting, okay? By Utah law, Kody had to respond to Christine's original complaint. There's no way he could ignore it. He had to respond. And he was required at that time to either admit or deny the allegations in Christine's complaint, okay? So it appeared that the paperwork was filed with Kody. And that puts basically the paternity test that Christine requested. That's pretty standard. That's pretty standard practice that Christine did in her lawsuit. But Kody's making extra steps with that paternity test because in the legal documents, he's basically, I don't know, like ordered a paternity test. So the testing is being done. And once that's done, Kody's going to have a little bit more rights. Okay. So Kody responded to Christine's requests and allegations. And basically, he could have called it a day by just replying to what she alleged, right? But no, he wants to go even further, okay? Because there's something additional that he's seeking, that he wants from her. Why do we say that? Because he filed a countersuit. He could have just filed a response to Christine's claims. He didn't do that. He went further. He filed a response, and then he filed a countersuit, which means he wants something from her. Okay, so things are going to be rapidly moving in Utah because after a counterclaim is filed, Christine will have 21 days. Christine or her lawyer will have 21 days to respond. Okay, that sometimes legal jargon is referred to as a reply to Kody's counterclaim. 21 days from the 13th. When was it filed? The 13th. So basically, how many days has that been since now? Yeah, there's basically almost like maybe a week plus a few days that Christine has left to respond to Kody's counterclaim. Okay. So here's what's interesting. There's parts that are a little bit upsetting, but whatever. We'll get to that. So the details of Kody's countersuit, I wish I could read them to you. Okay. But I can't. Okay. The reason that I can't is because Kody's counterclaim was marked as not public. So unfortunately, we will not be able to read word for word the nitty-gritty details of the nitty-gritty details of the details. It's not going to be released anytime soon. Okay. The only ones that can view that information are Christine, Kody, both of their lawyers, and obviously the court. But what we can say is we know through the filing that Kody's newly hired lawyer appeared for him on that date, on October 13th, when his countersuit and response was filed. And here's what's interesting. Kody wasn't there. He wasn't there on that court appearance date, just his lawyer. So even though we can't get into the nitty-gritty details, we can deduce a few things. We know that he's fighting it. He's not taking what Christine said lying face down. I mean, did we really think that was going to happen anyway? Probably not. I doubt that he was going to do that. I doubt that he was going to do that. Hold on one second. Thank you, Darlene. Thank you for the $2 super chat. He is the biggest B ever. Kody putting up a fight, right, Darlene? Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Okay. So here's what we can deduce from the custody battle. He's fighting it. He's fighting it. He's fighting it. He's not taking it down. He's not going away silently. It's not going to happen. So my best bet is that Kody doesn't want Christine to have full custody of Truly. He's going to fight, in my opinion. This is not fact. This was not stated in the documents. But what really can he fight for? He's not going to fight Christine for back child support. There ain't no way in hell. You guys know this. He would never win back child support. There's no way. That would be a losing battle. So to me, his best bet is to fight for joint custody. Because not only in joint custody would he be able to reduce the amount of child support, he might try to fight and say that he doesn't have to do or owe Christine any back child support. We'll get into that in a second. But yeah, it's very possible that if Kody gets some type of joint custody deal, that his payments of child support would be greatly reduced. Okay, so I want to listen to a lawyer explain this process a little bit more. Let me get him ready because he makes some good points. He is a lawyer that specifically talks about fathers paying child support. So I think that this is interesting. Like, this is kind of a father's rights law lawyer. Okay. So so he's definitely going to be thinking of it from the dad's point of view, which I think is beneficial to this because you know for a fact that Kody got like a pro-dad lawyer. I mean, come on, you know it. You absolutely know it. So give me a second. By the way, if you could subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. If you have not subscribed already, now is the time to do so. Now is the time to do so. That would be awesome. Also, if you could like this video, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so let's get into this dude. Let's do full screen here. And let's listen to what he has to say for dads. This is a pro-dad, like dad's law. You know Kody's going to go hard with a pro-dad lawyer. Let's listen to him talk about 50-50 custody.
Hi, my name's Keith Flynn, your Tulsa Father's Rights lawyer, and I'm here talking about
Whoa. He is going super fast. Sorry. Okay, here we go.
Hi, my name's Keith Flynn, your Tulsa Father's Rights lawyer, and I'm here talking about fatherhood and father's rights. We do get a lot of questions here at the Worth Law Office, and I'm trying to answer some of them. question we've gotten is, does a father pay child support with 50-50 custody? And the answer is, it depends. Now, if you have 50-50 physical custody, that would mean that you are receiving a child care credit for your time, which will greatly reduce the amount of child support paid, even if you make more money than she does. But if both people have 50-50 physical custody, then the calculation for child support will also include determination of their incomes. And both parents' incomes will determine what the child support number is or should be.
Okay. So what do you guys think about that? I thought that that was really interesting. Let me come back. And I think that that is why he's going to really fight for some type of joint custody. I don't think that he would fight for full custody. That would be ridiculous. I don't think so. Let's go into this because we got to go over some Utah law so that we understand exactly what we're talking about here, okay? So I thought I love Kody's face there. I love that. Okay. So let's talk about this. This is important, okay? I really think that this is what Kody is going to be focusing on is trying to get joint custody, but there are some terms that I found very interesting when it comes to Utah law. Maybe this is standard in every state, but right now we're just talking about Utah because that's what matters. Okay. So joint legal and joint physical custody. Okay, this is Utah law. With this arrangement, the children live. Really, it's child. We're talking about Truly here. Okay, so Truly lives with both parents. Both parents make important decisions about Truly. Joint custody works best when both parents communicate well together. Well, guess what? They don't communicate well together, and I'm assuming that that is going to be a factor in this. Remember, Christine already says Kody doesn't call, Kody doesn't text, he's not involved. Like, I don't think, and you know for a fact he doesn't talk to Christine. So that is a ding on Kody's notch there. Okay. Joint legal custody means both parents work together to make decisions about major issues affecting the children. These issues may include what religion, if any, the children will be raised in, whether the children should receive medical treatment or undergo a major medical procedure, where the children will go to school, the permission to get a tattoo, get married, to join the military before the age of 18. Joint legal custody does not affect the child's residence. Joint physical custody means that the child Truly will live. Get this. This I found really fascinating. If there is joint custody to be had, the child has to live at least 111 nights a year in the home of each parent. Joint physical custody works best when both parents live in the same general area. So those two things, the judge is definitely going to be weighing these two things. Put a 1 in the chat if you think, actually, no. How do I do it? Put a 2 in the chat if you think that Truly, no, you know what? 1. Let's do a 1 in the chat for yes. Yeah. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that Truly has lived or stayed with Kody for 111 nights out of the year at his home. Put a 2 in the chat if you say hell no. I want to know. Yeah. 1 in the chat if Truly has stayed at least 111 nights with Kody. With Kody at his home at night. And put a 2 in the chat if you're saying hell no. I see a sea of 2s. I agree. But isn't that interesting? So if Kody is going to fight this, then he's going to have Truly over for an extensive period of time, right? Because there's 365 days in a year. That would be, let's just do the math on that. 365, 111, 365. Like, so 30% of the time, 30% of the year, Kody would have to take care of Truly and Truly stay at his house. And we know for a fact, like 111 nights a year sounds insane when it comes to Kody, right? That's just kind of insane to think about. And I can't even imagine him doing it. Like, I would assume that now or in the past, Truly maybe stayed over, and I don't know because we don't know everything that happens 365 days. But based on what we see on the show, I mean, what, maybe like once a month? Maybe once a month, maybe a weekend. Maybe a weekend every month and maybe a little bit more on summer vacation. So we're talking maybe like what, 20 days, 29 days a year is my guess. So that I find really interesting. So with this in mind, let's keep going, listening to what the pro dad lawyer is saying. And then we'll get into joint legal custody here in a second. Oh, no, I'll do that in a second. Let's go back to that guy. Where'd it go? Where'd you go? Okay, let's go back to this guy. Here we go.
It's also important to note that if it's a physical 50-50 custody, but you're not actually on paper for physical 50-50 custody, you can apply for a modification of child support in order to the child care credit that you should be receiving. If you've got any questions about child support when you're
Okay, so basically he's just plugging himself there, so we don't have to go any further into that, but let's keep going. Okay, so I want to talk about this joint legal and sole physical custody. Okay, so that's the second part. In this arrangement, children live with one parent over 255 nights per year. The other parent has regular parent time, but both parents make important decisions about their children. Doesn't that sound more like what we're probably going to be dealing with? I do think that Christine is going to have truly over 255 nights a year. Do you know what I mean? I really don't. I really think so. But Kody may fight it. And that's going to be interesting. How would that even work? They're in completely different areas. Let me come back. So they're in completely different areas, right? And how would that work with Truly for schooling? How would that work? I mean, it would be in Truly's best interest to just stay in Utah. The thing that I'm wondering is, wouldn't that be interesting if maybe Kody and Robin did want to move back to Utah now? Maybe that's why the house was on the market at some point. Maybe they're still planning on moving back to Utah. If that's the case, and Robin really wants Truly, Saul and Ari to like grow up together and wants to be closer to her, that may be an option. Like, who knows? Who knows? But I find that very fascinating. Okay, so I also want to we're going to get into Kody's possible child support calculations and back child support. We're going to get into that in a second. But first, there is someone else that was talking about hold on. She is a lawyer. I need to find her video. Okay, child custody and disclosure. That's what I want to go over. Okay. Let me go back. We're going to listen to her. Okay. Let me come back here. Before we go any further. Okay, so with this child custody issue, right? Here's something that you guys also have to know. So we talked a little bit about the original lawsuit from Christine. We talked a little bit about the countersuit from Kody, what is expected, how many days that he has to file it. We went over that, right, at the top of the hour. But now we really need to talk a little bit about discovery. Okay, so following this part of the phase before this goes to trial, okay, which it might be mediated, but the way that they're discussing things and it's just being contentious, I think they're going to fight this until it can't be fought anymore. Okay, so once the counterclaim is filed, okay, basically the petitioner, they're going to answer all phases of the case, like regardless of whether the counterclaim is filed, which it was. And now Christine and Kody are going to have deadlines for conducting and completing discovery. If you guys don't know what discovery is, it's basically a term in the legal profession where each party has the opportunity to discover facts that give each party a better sense of how strong or weak their child custody case is. Okay. And what this means is they can call witnesses, they can include witnesses, documents, depositions of other people. We're talking about financial disclosure. We're talking about tax returns. There's a lot when it comes to discovery. So what I want to do is, since we're just kind of going over what to expect, let's talk about child custody disclosure and discovery. There's this woman, Command of the Courtroom, that kind of gives a good synopsis of what you can expect in a child custody disclosure and discovery for the trial prep. So this is kind of like, she's not discussing sister wives. This is just a general overview of child custody disclosure and discovery. And it's going to give us a good view of kind of behind the scenes, behind closed doors, what Christine's lawyer and what Kody's lawyer is probably prepping them to do and to prepare for. Okay, so let me get this ready. Let's get this ready. All right, here we go. All right, let's listen to her.
About disclosure discovery. And I want to talk with you about that because I actually just had court this afternoon here in Phoenix, and I went, and my clients and I were ready. And prior to it was a child support hearing. So we got an order from the court, a minute entry from the court, and it told us exactly what we had to bring. So some of the stuff that we were supposed to bring were an affidavit of financial information, the last 3 years of tax returns, the last 6 months of pay stubs, and the breakdown for health insurance costs. So
okay, so that is probably very similar to something that is going to be happening with Kody and Christine. So we're talking about 3 years of tax returns. There's pay stubs. There's it's going to be interesting, and I don't know if we're ever going to hear this and know, but what does Kody pay for now with Truly? If Christine is calling him a deadbeat dad, is he even paying for anything? Do you know what I mean? That's what I want to know. Oh my gosh. Okay, Darlene, thank you. Darlene says, get the hell out of here. He didn't even see her when he was across the street. Agreed. Darlene, thank you for the super chat. Margaret Shane, thank you for the $5 super chat. Margaret said, Truly will have a say in this and will tell the court the neglect she's experienced by Kody. He'll be hearing the word abandonment a whole lot more. You guys put the shade award in the chat for Margaret. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Margaret. And agreed, I need to keep your comment because we're going back to that. We're going to be discussing that in a second because you're absolutely right. Darlene, 483 watching now, but only 49 likes. Can you guys like the video? I would really appreciate it. And once you do, let me know what like number you were. I will try to shout you out if I can. Thank you so very much. And thank you, Darlene, for looking out. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's keep it moving. Yes, I see all the shady awards. Thank you, you guys. That's amazing. All right, so let's keep on going. Let's see if she brings any more valuable information, which this already was valuable information. And I wonder if that's why Kody, this is going to be discovery time. Does he really want on the books that $1.2 million house for sale? The purple, the Grimace mansion? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
So there was a deadline to disclose all of this information, and we disclosed it by the deadline, which was last week. So anyways, I was preparing over the weekend to go to the hearing, and I realized I had absolutely nothing from the other side, the mother, and my staff is really great because they put together everything for me. So I had nothing, and I showed up to the hearing thinking, I don't know what is going to happen here because, I didn't feel prepared because I didn't have anything from the other side. I only had half of the equation and what my client was telling me. So we showed up, and the way that they do child support conferences here in Phoenix, when the state is involved, like when somebody's receiving public assistance, they have you meet with a conference officer first, and usually that person's a paralegal or it could be an attorney, and they sit with you and try to go through all the numbers. Well, the other side appeared by phone, so my client and I were there with the conference officer, and The other side still didn't have anything, and I didn't have anything in my possession. And
Okay. So basically, we don't have to worry about this because I doubt that Kody's going to have a public defender. I'm pretty sure he can afford a lawyer. I know that Christine can afford a lawyer. So let's just skip past that part.
the party had become unemployed. So an updated affidavit of financial information. So what ended up happening is that hearing got continued. And that was after an hour of my traveling and getting ready for the hearing. And then my clients and I waiting for an hour and then meeting with that conference officer for half hour.
Really?
That they were supposed to. And I say, Judge, you need to keep this out of the evidence. They shouldn't be able to rely on this. And the judge has done.
Okay,
Hearing proceeds, and the judge says, guess what, other party, you're not going to get to provide, or you're not going to get to present any of your evidence because you haven't disclosed it in advance. And I've made that objection in a lot of trials where the other party shows up. They haven't provided me with information that they were supposed to. And I say, Judge, you need to keep this out of the evidence. They should be able to rely on this. And the judge has done it. So it was a pain for me and my client, but the other side, she really got lucky because she's getting a chance to get this information together and
Okay, so basically what she's saying is that's why discovery is so important. You don't want to, once trial is started, once discovery, the process is over, you don't want to add new information, right? So they better be forthcoming, especially Kody, because you know how dodgy they are with their finances. That's the part that's going to be interesting. And here's why finances matter. Okay, we're going to get into this in a second. This is important. Here's why I think Kody's fighting it. Here's why I think he is countersuing Christine. We know that he's not going to fight for full custody. That would be insane. Take away the child's mother who's had the primary relationship with her, but truly for the entire time. Why would you do that? He would look insane. But yes, I do think that he's fighting for 50-50 custody. And I think part of it is for Robin. Well, I mean, listen, I think Kody does love truly in his own way. There's love there. But also I'm sure pressure from Robin. And also a big part of that is money, the money aspect. And Utah has a very interesting way that they calculate child support. We're going to get into that in a second. But first, let's go into this. We're talking about the child support term limits. Okay, this is for the state of Utah because that's where it matters. Okay, so listen to this. This is where this is important. Okay, so if you've waited until your child's 22nd birthday before trying to establish paternity, you would only be entitled to retroactive child support from the 4 years prior. Why is that? Because child support obligations in Utah terminate when a child turns 18. So we don't have to worry about 22 and a half with Truly. That doesn't matter because Truly, I think, what, did she just turn 14, 13 or 14? So child support obligations in Utah terminate when a child turns 18. So you are allowed, okay, it says, for the past support, you're limited to a period of 4 years preceding the commencement of an action. Well, the action is what Christine did last month, right? In September. That's when she filed the petition for child support and custody. So 4 years in the past. So maybe, I think if Truly's 14, chat, let me know. Can you confirm, is Truly 14? Yes. Okay, Carly No Twitter says she's 14. Okay, so basically Christine has possibly will be able to get child support from the time Truly was 10, if that is what she wants to do. But from now on, from this point on, she can request child support in the state of Utah from the age of 14, which she is now, until 15. So Christine has another 4 years of getting child support from Kody, right? And if Kody wins this, which I don't see him winning this. I mean, we talked about this before. Can we just go back to that? He would need to have Truly over for at least 111 nights a year. I don't see that happening, but it could. He could be totally sneaky about this. It could happen. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't see that happening. So right now, I think what Kody is going to try to contest is possibly the back child support issue and also the next 4 years. And let's just get into some of the calculations. I find this really interesting. So, there was a back child support calculation that you can do from the state of Utah. This is about Utah. I want to go over some of the aspects of this and what I'm going off of. You guys let me know. We could do numbers later at a later date. So, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comment section if you're like, IQ, girl, no, this is a bad calculation. Here's why. I totally get that. This is a rough estimate. Okay. So with that being said, do you remember Kody saying the statement? I make $200 an hour. And that was in regards to him talking about, I could just pay someone, like, I'm not going to stay home and watch my kids, which is interesting. I hope that Christine uses that clip in court. But remember, he was like, I don't have to, I'm not going to stay at home and watch my kids. When I'm making $200 an hour, I could pay someone $20 an hour and watch my kids and I can get work done. Do you guys remember that? So I just want to do the math really quick. With Kody doing $200 an hour, let's just say that he works 40 hours a week, which is typical, with $200 an hour. That would be $8,000 a week. That would be $32,000 a month. And that would be $384,000 in a year. Okay, so I just don't I don't know. No, wait, hold on. Let me do that math again. Okay, so $200 an hour times 40. So we're talking about, okay, so let me just write this out. So if Kody made $200 an hour, that would be $8,000 a week. That would be times that by 4. That would be $32,000. I'm going to put this up on the screen in a second. $32,000 in a month. And then that would be $384,000 in a year. Okay, so I'm going to put this up on the screen here. If it would work, come on there. Okay, there we go. So let's just do that. Okay, so if Kody made $200 an hour, it would be $8,000 a week, $32,000 a month, $384,000 in a year. I think we can all call BS on that. Put 1 if you think that, put a 1 in the chat if you think that that's accurate. Put a 2 in the chat if you think that that's not accurate. Let me know. Because what we do know is that in the past, the sister wives have, hold on one second. Engineer, what are you saying? What say you, engineer? Engineer, thank you for the $5 super chat. Engineer said, I thought which children were included isn't public. I saw somewhere where they said the timeline could include Isabel's surgery if she is involved. You know, I don't think so. I mean, good question, engineer. And listen, am I a legal scholar? No, I am not. But based on the law, let's just go into this because actually, no, I think that you're right. Hold on. Let me exit out of that. It's not this one. Let me go back. Okay, so you would be entitled to retroactive child support for the prior 4 years. No, that is true. Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. The timeline could include Isabel's surgery because it would be 4 years. So even if this person, they're doing a hypothetical, if they were 22, hold on. See, I don't think so. Okay, so look at that. Wait, you're trying to. No, because Christine would have had to establish paternity before that date, right? So look, if you waited, well, if she establishes paternity now, how old is Isabel? Do you guys know? If she established it now, then you could go back 4 years, right? How old is she? Let me go to chat. How old is Isabel? Do you guys know? How old is she? 21. See, this is what I don't know if that's the case then, because read this, okay? So it says, in other words, if you waited until, so this is a perfect example for Isabel, right? This is Utah code. In other words, if you waited until your child was 22, so let's just say this is Isabel, 21, before trying to establish paternity, which that would be Isabel, you would only be entitled to retroactive child support for the 4 years prior. Okay, great. I know that you're thinking, well, 4 years ago, the surgery happened. I get that, but keep reading. Since child support obligations in Utah terminate when a child turns 18, you might be able to establish paternity, which is a useful purpose of inheritance. But neither you nor your child would receive a penny in retroactive child support. Do you see that? So I think because Christine waited too long with Isabel to establish paternity, it's not going to work for her, but it's going to work for Isabel. That is the way that this is worded, that's how I'm reading this. Yeah, I don't think so. True, but look at what the code says, though. I get what you're saying, but let's read that again. Since child support obligations in Utah terminate when a child turns 18, you might be able to establish paternity, which is useful for purposes of inheritance. But neither you nor your child would receive a penny in retroactive child support because you waited until your child was 22, 21 before establishing paternity. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. I know this is worded so weird. But anyway. All right, so let's keep going. So let's talk about Truly here for a second. I want to talk about the possible calculation. Okay, so we were talking about that. I saw in chat you guys were giving a good calculation as far as what you thought that Kody made. Okay, actually, I'm glad that you wrote this, Michelle. Okay, so Michelle says Kody does the cameos. It's actually 150, not 200. Okay, so let me tell you why I did the calculations the way I did, and that's the thing. This is why it can go this way. It doesn't have to go this way. All right, hold on. There we go. Here's why I did the calculations. Do I think that Kody is doing his let me put that back up. Do I think that he's working 40 hours a week making $200 an hour? Absolutely not. So what I am doing is I'm just guesstimating. What we know is that with Sister Wives, they were making at one point an average of $25,000 to $40,000 per episode, but that was split between 5 adults. So we're talking about like $5,000 or $6,000 per episode. I don't know, because it got so popular, maybe their salaries increased, so maybe even more than that. But let's just do a conservative number, okay? So with that being said, at least for the past several seasons, there's been about like 15 to 17 episodes. So let's just do 17 episodes at $6,000 each. Kody is possibly making like $102,000 a year with that. And then let's just add in cameos and then his other job. So with that, let's do my calculation, the way I did it was, let me see. I just added another 70,000 because that kind of averages, I cut it in half, basically $200 an hour with 40 hours a week. Let's just do 20 hours a week because I doubt that he's working 40. So yes, this is speculative, but what I ended up coming up with for Kody is we're doing an estimate of like 180,000 a year, which would be about $15,000 a month Okay, so let's do this calculator. I want to show you what I'm talking about. Where are we? And why can't I move that? Here we go. Okay, so this is a back child support calculation. Okay. So we have Christine and we have Kody. You see Kody in the first column, parent 1. Christine is parent 2. I just said, and that's the thing, who knows how much they're making? I think Christine probably makes way more than Kody at this point, but for all intents and purposes, since it happened 2 years ago before Christine really moved on, let's just say that at the time, her monthly income and his monthly income was relatively the same. That's why I put $15,000 a month for each one, right? 2B, enter previously ordered alimony. There is no previously ordered alimony. That's why that's 0. 2C, enter previously ordered child support. There was no other previously ordered child support. This will be the first one. So that's why that's 0. So this is what's interesting. Okay. Here's what's working in Kody's favor. That's column number 3. If you think about it, let me come back to this while we talk. While we talk, let's just chit chat for a second before we come back to this. Okay, so when I was doing the calculations, here's how Utah calculates how much a parent has to calculate when it comes to child support. They factor in how many other minors are in the home. Okay, so here's what's interesting. Kody and Robin, they have 2 other minors in the home, right? Because they have Saul and Ari. With Christine, Truly is her only minor at this point. While she's filing currently as of this date, Truly is the last minor in the family. So because of that, let's go back. That's why Kody gets a deduction here. I didn't put this. It automatically calculates. Once I put the number in, I didn't do this. This is what the state of Utah does. They deduct. So they adjusted this. This is an adjusted, I'm talking about line 3. The state of Utah, this calculation, they subtracted what we did originally, the $15,000 a month. This is an adjusted gross income for child support purposes. So that's going to work in Kody's favor. So can you imagine if he does fight as well for joint custody to reduce the child support payments? He already is going to have his child support payments reduced because he has 2 small minors. Okay. So that's what number 4 is. Take the combined figure in line 3 and the number of children in line 1 to find the base support obligation. That was automatically calculated. And we did that for the other 2 children, Saul and Ari. Okay. So, okay, they multiply, they divide some things. Here's what matters. Line number 7, base child support award. Okay. So this is part of it. There's still a little bit more, but right now, if these numbers are somewhat in the ballpark, we're talking about $1,100 a month in child support. But we keep going. There's more to this. Here's more of it. So here's the total. Here's the total when all is said and done is item line number 12. Parents share, and this is for parent number 1, which would be Kody, of the child support obligation to children in line 1. And this is a guesstimate, you guys. This is not fact, and this is not a real document. So we're just speculating here. Ends up being $1,807, basically $1,900 a month. Okay, in back child support. So that's just talking about back child support. Actually, no, it's not. It's talking no, it's not. Is it? Parent total obligation. Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. So back child support. That's base child support. That is base child support. That is okay. So here's what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do 1878, right? We're gonna do. Let's just write this down. Hold on. Let's do some simple math, you guys. Hold on. Let me just grab this. 1878. I gotta remember that. Let's come back to this. Okay. Let's do this together. Okay. So we're gonna do 1878. We're going to times that by 12 months. Okay. So that is going to be 1878 times that by 12 months. Well, that would be 22,500. Okay. So let me put that in. Equals 22,500. All right. And that would be 4 years. Okay. So that's basically, if we're looking at that, possibly like 90,000 that Kody would owe in back child support. Let me grab that and get that ready. Kody may owe around 100,000 in back child support. Okay, there we go. Kody may owe Christine around $100,000 in back child support just for Truly. We're talking about just Truly. If there is something going on with Isabel, that there could be even more, let alone, you know, if there is any splitting of the assets later on. Well, actually, no, I think out of all the wives, Christine had a pretty fair split of assets. It's really Janelle and Mary that are left hanging, right? So I thought that that was really interesting. The numbers might be off, but I thought that that was at least kind of interesting, comparable. But what we're going to know is, well, we might not know. Maybe we'll know one day, but Christine is definitely going to know in Discovery exactly how much Kody's assets are, how much Robin and Kody have been hoarding. And just like we heard this lawyer say, the female lawyer, it's not good to hide this stuff because if it comes out later, it's going to hurt you in the long run. So Kody and Robin, they should not be hoarding. They shouldn't be putting stuff in storage units. They should be documenting everything when it comes to Discovery. Fifi says, no matter the amount that's awarded, whether it be $10 or $100K, he's going to be next level pissed any way you look at it because he feels like she won. Yeah, this is all about winning at this point. It really is. But also, it's not just about winning. It's about his money. Remember, nothing scares Kody more than poverty. And if he owes something like $100,000 in back child support, let alone having to pay maybe possibly between $1,800 and maybe a little less or more a month going forward for the next 4 years with Truly, I think that's why he may be wanting to fight this, because it could be greatly reduced based on if he is awarded some type of joint custody. But like we went over, it would have to be, where's that? More than 111 nights a year in the home. I don't see that happening. So that's going to be super, very interesting. I hope that we get more about this later. Maybe they're withholding it also, and it's going to play out and be a storyline on Sister Wives in the future. Maybe they don't talk about it at all, but I don't see them not talking about it since they talk about this so extensively. It would be weird to just be like, nope, we're not talking about it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe after the fact, I don't know. So that'll be really interesting to see what happens. That is pretty much, let me go back. Let me see. Okay, yeah, that is true, Tracy. Let's face it, Kody's going to get hit left and right. Yes, he is. Yeah, he definitely is. He definitely is. All right, so let me, you guys have something to say. Let's see. Okay, AK, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, I just wanted to point out that when the family was receiving the funds from the production company, they were receiving it under a holding company. So it wasn't necessarily being dispersed to each person individually. So Kody would have had the greater income.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so true. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
So Kody made much, much more money than anyone else in the family because it was going to his holding company, whereas the others opened holding companies once the separations had happened. So he is on the hook for making significantly more money.
That is so true. And let me ask you this, AK. Do you know for a fact that this has been stated anywhere by the wives, or do you know what I mean? Like, have the wives ever said we were paid unfairly? Do you know, or are we speculating? The only reason I ask is because if that is true, and the wives are like, he shortchanged us, or we've come to the decision that he should make more, which I don't think that they would, consensually. So in discovery, they're going to find out exactly what he was withholding from them. But anyway, do you know, have they spoke about that at all? Because I just haven't heard that.
No, they haven't spoken publicly about how the funds were dispersed, but we do know for a fact the holding or the TLC's company, the Red Code, I can't remember their exact name,
Yeah.
but we do know that it was only paying one party. And that's what they called, quote unquote, the family fund.
Yes.
So Christine was paying her mortgage separately, Janelle was paying her bills separately, but Kody was withholding the family funds.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is going to get messy. That is an excellent point, AK. Thank you so much for bringing that up. We're going to have to dig deeper into that. Thank you for calling in, AK.
Of course.
You guys put some love in the chat for AK because, yeah, she brings up an excellent point. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, I think this is going to get super, super messy. Look at his face. Like, it's perfect timing. It's like he heard what AK said. Kody right there. That's crazy. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I haven't heard the wives specifically say that they didn't get their fair share of the money, but, you know, here's where I feel like it's going to be a domino effect, though. Well, it depends on, like, Christine may not be able to tell Janelle everything that's been going on in Discovery, but I'm sure she could be like, hey, you might want to sue. You know what I mean? Like, you need to find out some of this stuff for yourself. This is going to open up Pandora's box. I see a like number 190. Thank you so much, Leo Lion. What like number are you? Let's see. Shannon said, Kody, is it Kody? Christine transferred her interest of Coyote Pass to the family, and he transferred it to himself and Robin. I wonder if this suit is in her part a way to correct it emotionally and informally. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to this. And the interesting thing is, I wonder if besides the lawsuit of child support and child custody, is there going to be a civil suit as well in the future when it comes to Janelle, when it comes to Mary? Like, Mary's done playing. Janelle keeps bringing up lawyers and lawsuits left and right, but that was 2 years ago in the footage. What does she think about that now? Is she waiting? Like, what is going on? That's going to be interesting. Kody is in some deep kimchi right now. He's in some very deep kimchi. I don't think that things are going well for him right now. Can I just say that? Especially when it comes to money. Wendy, hold on. I thought children. Wendy, thank you for the $2 super chat. What about medical support? Yes. That also is not included in the calculation as far as healthcare. You're absolutely right. So I don't know. That's why that was a factor that was unknown that I didn't add to it. Like, is he helping to pay for medical insurance? I doubt it. So that would he would have to split that, and it would add to that figure as well. No, 100%. Actually, let me go back, Wendy, while you're still up here. Let me go back. I think, is that a part of the calculation that I put on here? There. Okay, line number 10. See, I put 0, but it says line number 10. Parents' share of children's insurance for the child. And multiply line by 50. So that's going to be 50% split. But I just don't know if that's even going to be included. I doubt it, though. I doubt it, because that's probably why Christina's suing his behind. So yeah, it's probably going to be over 2,000. Very close to, probably over my speculation, my theory about how much Kody is going to be paying out. And you're right. And in back child support, that's what it would probably be as well. So let me see. What else are you guys saying? You guys have some good ones. This is true too. I think that he's going to have a pit bull attorney that's going to say, I have a vindictive ex-wife who took my child away from me. And that's why I wasn't able to see her. I do. I think, actually, is there... I have something else that we got to watch. Oh my goodness. In regards to this was such a good one. Hold on. Let me find it. Here we go. This is another, like, I think, pro-dad lawyer, which is what I want, because this is the advice that Kody is going to be getting. And let's listen to him. All right. Let me highlight this. I'm going to come back in a second. This is another pro-dad lawyer. Listen to him talking about time and custody. I find this really interesting.
Custody if the child's mother is absent or a drug addict, right? Wrong. I'm sick and tired of fathers giving up on custody because they just presume that mother's always going to win. Here's the one question that the courts care about when it comes to awarding custody. What is in the best interest of your child? Contrary to popular belief, winning the custody battle doesn't require slinging mud at your child's mother. Remember, blowing out her candle doesn't make your candle burn any brighter. Let me explain how you can prove that you are in fact the parent who should get custody because it is in the best interest of your child. It's much easier to become a father than to be one. If you want to...
You know, it's so funny because he's making arguments and points against Kody right now, which is kind of fascinating. But you know that probably his pro-dad lawyer is speaking to him about this stuff. So
win the custody battle, you're going to have to prove that you are actively involved in your child's life. One thing that attorneys love to do when fathers are seeking custody is to interrogate them on the stand with rapid-fire questions about all of the teachers, doctors, and counselors in their child's life. Who is your child's dentist? Who is your child's homeroom teacher? How about their primary care provider? Who is your child's best friend? Who is your child's bully? For fathers who are heavily involved in their child's day-to-day care, they ace this pop quiz and leave the attorney looking like a jerk.
Okay, so what do you guys think? Do you think that Kody knows who Truly's best friend is, who Truly's dentist is, who what's going on in Truly's life? Do you think so? All of those questions that he just asked, this is what Kody is being told behind the scenes. So I bet you Truly is getting bombarded with phone calls and texts from her dad now because he's prepping for the stand here if this goes to trial eventually. That's what I think. That is what I think. She's getting bombarded. Her phone is probably hot from the rapid firing of questions. Kody's probably requesting that she's over all the time to establish this. Okay. Thank you, Margaret Shane. Margaret says, Kody can always give up parental rights to save money, and David can adopt Truly. Oh my gosh, Margaret, you know, that is true. But based on everything that happened with Robin's kids, with her ex, and Kody doing that whole adoption, how insane would that be? Even just for his own ego. Maybe financially that would be better. But for him to do exactly what he did to be... I mean, it would just show him being a complete lowlife. So you're going to adopt Robin's children, but you're going to give away your own? Do you know what I mean? That would be insane if he did it, even just ego-wise. That would be absolutely mind-blowing. That would be insane. Absolutely insane. Darlene says he doesn't have a chance in hell to win. But if the lawyer starts prepping him now, he could say, okay, here's the defense. And once again, I'm going to do this because for whatever reason, you know, even if you do here, where is that disclaimer? Sorry, thank you so much, Darlene. I appreciate it. We're just speculating about Kody's defense. I'm not saying that I agree or condone. We're just talking about the other side. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about here. But basically, I could see him Kody saying, Christine alienated me from my children. That's why I don't have a relationship with her. That's why I don't know what her dentist's name is, her doctor's name is, who her bully is, who her best friend is. I don't know because she took her away and she moved away and she's vindictive and she's bitter. And she moved my stuff out. I wanted to continue to do this relationship and she's bad-mouthing me to my children. Do you know what I mean? Let me go back. There was another part that I want to go over. Okay, and this is what's interesting too, because I think he's going to play the victim here as well. Let me go to that. This is talking about the same lawyer, talking about being an effective co-parent and communicator, which we know Kody has a big fat F in, but I find it interesting in relation to what his lawyer is going to be telling him. Okay, let's go to that. Come on, video.
Interest is the language of leadership. I can't tell you how many times I've told my clients the value of co-parenting and communicating, just for them to respond with, there's no way I can communicate or co-parent with my ex. She's crazy. Here's the thing though, even if she isn't willing to co-parent and communicate with you, that doesn't stop you from making the effort. It is really simple if you just take a little time. Here's what that looks like. Anytime there is a decision to be made for the child, like administering medication, making medical appointments, or even discipline, make a concerted effort to reach out to your ex to tell them your plan and to ask for their input. It really doesn't have to be complicated, but it does have to be frequent. Here's an example. Your daughter starts running a mild fever. You send a text message to her mother saying, hey, she's running a mild fever, so I have a cold rag on her forehead. I'm about to give her some Motrin, but wanted to check with you first to see if you've seen any allergic reaction to it that I should know about. This is the perfect formula to co-parenting text messages. Issue plus proposed plan plus seeking input equals co-parenting. You don't have to do what they say, but you should at least consider it and then thank them for their input. Even if your child's other parent doesn't respond, I can't tell you how valuable those text messages are in trial, because now you are the peacemaker, communicator, and co-parent.
What do you think about that? Peacemaker. What? Peacemaker, communicator. No, absolutely not. No, that would not be Kody. So I feel like he has some things to work on, and I know that his lawyer. Thank you, Darlene, for gifting a membership. That is so sweet. Who got it? I'm trying to scroll back up. Katie Roy Jameson, you were gifted a membership. Thank you for joining, and you now have access. Number one, you're helping to support the channel, so thank you so much. And you have access to our emojis to start using them. That would be amazing. Okay. I just find it fascinating, but I think again that Kody is going to say, well, the reason that I'm not a good, I can't communicate with her. She's gone. I don't have access to her. She took her away. These are things that I really do believe that Kody is going to use as his defense to why he doesn't really look like the greatest dad. He doesn't look like the greatest co-parent, that he doesn't look like he's actively involved in Truly's life. He has some work to do. So we're just going to have to stay tuned, see how much we get. Hold on. Darlene says, sorry again, we have video proof of Kody's negligence. Yes, we do. Wouldn't that be funny if some of the footage from Sister Wives is like included? If this goes to trial, if it's not mediated. Let me see. I want to know. Let's just do a poll. How many of you guys think that this actually, no, you know what? We don't even have to do a poll. This is not being mediated. I would be very surprised if it was. I think this is going to court. Let's just leave it there. And we will keep up on this. But yeah, this is all the information that we have right now. We will explore a little bit more of Utah law, custody law. We're going to go. I do want to ask and do some research about back child support and medical bills, possibly for Isabel's surgery. Let's get into that. Let's do another deep dive on this in the future. But for now, I want to thank everyone for the super chats. Thank you to my mod. Thank you for coming. Thank you to all my live chatters. Thank you to all of my replay members. We are going to play 2 important music videos that are really relative to what's going on today. And yeah, we are going to do Beer and Skittles, and then we're going to do Deadbeat Dad. That is how we are ending things today. Is today Friday? Let me check. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's Friday, TGIF. I hope that you have an amazing weekend. I'm going to see a lot of you in the Discord on Sunday because we do have another episode. And if not, I will see you on Monday. And yeah, if I got anything wrong, if you have anything else to say, put it in the comment section. We will discuss it on our next live. What do you guys think about that? Hold on. Let's do. Let me find it. Where is it? Where is it? We are going to do, and it's like I can't find it now. Play. We're going to do play because it's so fitting. And then we're going to do Deadbeat. We're going to close out with that. All right, you guys, I will talk to you very soon. Have an excellent weekend. Bye, guys.
Say we've lived here for 800 days. He went hiking with us. once.
How many days have you spent with us? Like full days?
I was not here before COVID. I don't have time to play like she has time to play. 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 You're telling me I'm never around.
That's 3 times he's gone with us. 3 out of 800.
I was here for full days regularly. I remember full days here. Like, what are you doing all day? It's certainly not cooking and cleaning. I don't have time to play like she has time to play. 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 I got a lot of work to do and a lot of responsibilities. Play. I don't have time to play like she has time to play. I don't get this. Listen, there's nothing to say here. Tell the whole world. Tell the world. And then go hang out with your buddy Christine.
Each describe Kody in 3 words.
Just 3.
Yes.
Deadbeat.
Okay.
Dad. Sorry, that's 2, but deadbeat dad and deadbeat, he is selfish. Deadbeat.
You haven't seen one of them for a year.
Deadbeat.
This is about a deadbeat dad.
You're hurting this family,
Deadbeat.
no one else. You're not loyal, just like your mother. And I was like, okay.
Why are you angry with your children? You haven't seen 2 of them for 5 months.
Deadbeat.
I'm going to move forward and find happiness and joy outside of my club.
Each describe Kody in 3 words.
Just 3.
Yes.
Deadbeat.
Okay.
Dad. Sorry, that's 2, but deadbeat dad and deadbeat.
The rest of the kids don't really have much of any kind of connection with
Deadbeat.
him.
You haven't seen one of them for a year.
Deadbeat.
This is about a deadbeat dad.
Deadbeat.
Why are you angry with your children?
You a deadbeat!
Deadbeat. He is selfish. Deadbeat.
He seems to be sort of like, I don't know, like the reality is bewildering to him, kind of.
Deadbeat.
Divorced, and then the father just goes
Deadbeat.
MIA.
A deadbeat dad speaks from prison and explains the question so many people are asking: what went wrong?